Okay, here's the deal. Before the real episode starts, Sarah and I have an emergency.
Emergency! The most important thing ever.
Ever. This is not hyperbole. This is actually the most important thing ever.
Yeah.
So you know how, like, we're awesome and everything, but, like, nobody knows about it?
Yes. Except for you listeners.
Yeah. And, like, you know, we're, like, chronically the underdogs. Well, guess what? Like, we beat the odds.
Yes.
And we became finalists for a Signal Award for Best Buddy Podcast.
And of all awards to win, this is the one. Yes! Best buds. I mean, and this is why it's most important for you guys to get out there and vote for us, because we are up against 2 other podcasts that are male hosts, and we are not gonna let a couple of bros win the Best Buddy category. And no thank you. That goes to Sarah and Suze. Everybody knows it.
For real, there should be a separate category that's like best bros. Okay, fine. You can have that one.
Yeah, have that, whatever. But
we're best buddies.
Everybody knows we are the clear winners of this category, but we need you guys to vote.
Yeah, we do. And so we are not winning right now, and we are losing to a show called Ear Biscuit. Number 1, do you know how demoralizing it would be to lose to a show named Ear Biscuit? Number 2, think about this. We have a show that starts with a body part and ends with a food. Who do you want more? A biscuit in your ear or candy in your brain?
This sold. Done. There's your argument.
Yes. Okay. So if you agree with me on this logic alone, not even considering how we are superior in every way, then you should go to thebraincandypodcast.com, and there is a banner for our Signal Award. You can click on it, and it will take you to the voting, and you can vote for us. Or check the show notes of this episode, and you will see the link. It will take you to the Signal Awards, Best Buddy Podcast, Brain Candy Podcast. We really need this.
Yes, and we will continue to post the link on our own personal social media accounts until the
17th.
Yeah, until the 17th.
October 17th.
We can vote no longer.
Thank you so much. We really want to win. We hope you'll support us. We love you. Okay, let's get on with the episode.
It's going to be so fun.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. Woo! That's exciting.
Brain Candy Podcast, episode 855. You asked, and you shall receive. Sarah, Louise,
Suze.
and the Rasta Horn are here.
That's what I want for my birthday every year, is a new sound on the sound machine.
Yes, whatever
Can I
your
have
heart
that?
desires.
Thank you. First of all, hello, you lovely listeners. I love you all. I'm in an extra good mood today. Susie is looking so cute. If you guys don't have the video version, she is wearing a plaid vest, and it is making this.
What is the definition of
heart
houndstooth, by the way?
Houndstooth is a different print. That is a houndstooth. Oh my gosh, I got a little choked up. Houndstooth is it's like a weave, really. And the weave creates a pattern that looks like, it's very hard to describe.
A houndstooth. Well, this is houndstooth adjacent, we'll call it.
Yes.
Because it's not, but it's similar.
I would say, what do they call that? There's a name for that kind of plaid. It is
Tell me.
I know that I was just, oh my God.
She knows it.
I literally was just looking at something that was different kinds of, because I follow random accounts that are like fabric accounts.
That's what I love about you.
And it was like different kinds of fall. Actually, it was all the Muppet characters. If the Muppets were types of plaid, if I'm honest, it was plaid. Which type of plaid are all of the Muppet characters?
She was pretending it was just like a fabric account.
But it is a fabric account, but also a fabric account with a cartoon crossover. And
that's great.
It really was. And yeah, there's a name for it.
Well, anyway, thank you for your compliments. You look great. You're in overalls and rocking them as usual. And it is episode 855, as I said, of the Brain Candy Podcast.
Tartan. Tartan. Tartan plaid.
I see. So yes.
Yeah. Gingham plaid is like the big squares, like the black and red. It's like the buffalo plaid. Then there's like the window pane one that's just the lines, and they look like window panes. Houndstooth, yep, gingham, and tartan.
Sarah loves a fall look.
I love a fall look. Fall academia. I go wild. It is when I come alive.
An elbow patch, a pipe,
all of it, and I feel like as the years go by, I don't know if clothing is becoming more. People are becoming more I mean, we've always been adventurous in clothing, but they're just a lot of options and all these different trends, these micro trends, and they are getting so specific with what I like. It's like, yes, you are nailing it. It is like Oxford 1989, fall.
That's your
temperatures
time to
between
shine.
65 and 72, like very specific.
Well, I hope you enjoy this time.
13-year-old skater kid.
Right. It can go either way.
That's it. I'm leaning hard. I've been playing busted out the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. I've been playing some video games.
Wow.
Because the controls happen to use every finger except.
Win that?
What do you mean? How do you know? You like complete all the challenges and levels.
You have to do certain tricks.
There's so each level
is like, what do you know? Or what do you mean? How do you know?
I know. I got a real defensive Tony Hawk Pro Skater right there.
I don't know what the game is.
Each level is in a different location, like a different city that's like a famous city that'll have like a skating area. Like one of my favorites is San Francisco because I lived there and everything is very recognizable, fun places. And then they have different tasks that you have to do, like, grind the awning over the coffee shop and stuff. And drain the fountain.
And that game does not require your bad finger.
It does not require my bad finger. It is a trigger finger. It is like the three, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle style three.
Did you read about or hear about the Nintendo museum that's opening in Japan?
Well, no, that would be so fun and cute.
I heard about it on NPR today, and I was like, I just thought, wonder who would be into that.
Me.
Is it people? Yeah. That's what I thought.
And especially, if they don't have this, I would be very disappointed. I would really like an interactive zone where you get to play the games of the past.
Yes, that's the first floor.
Okay, good. Thank God.
Yes.
It's like, that's what I'm there for.
Thank God.
Yeah.
And then the second and third floors are just, the history and all that jazz. And they were surprised that Nintendo even opened this museum because evidently Nintendo is very tight-lipped and they abide by this Japanese principle of letting the work speak for itself. They don't comment a lot on their games or anything. And so people were like, wow, this is kind of breaking with their usual PR.
I love that. There was I think it was what are the movies that are there? Mockumentaries, but not. It wasn't really like a mockumentary, but it's supposed to be like, I guess that's what you call them. That was about video games or about in the 80s, and maybe it was like Pong or one of those, like Atari or something like that.
Yeah.
And it talked a little bit about that Nintendo, the history of Nintendo. And I love that story. I am just waiting for the documentary to come out. Behind the scene. I want that because I know the stories are good.
Nintendo was created in the 1800s. I mean, this is not.
Yeah, it's crazy how.
Yeah.
The history is nuts.
They sold trading cards, but they were hand drawn. It was just obviously. Because it's the freaking 1800s.
Wow.
Like the Civil War just ended and they're like, let's do trading cards.
Could you imagine? That's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, boy, they lasted a while.
Yeah. And I don't know anything. I'm going to have to look into that for a future podcast.
Yeah. Do it. Get the scoop.
I will.
How are you? How's your fingy? You don't want to talk about it. It's fine.
I mean, I do. I love talking about my ailments and complaining. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. I just feel like I keep it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, or 1 step forward, 2 steps back. I don't fucking know. You know, it just, and every single time I do what I'm supposed to do the exercises, and then it's like really bruised and really messed up the next day. And so I send a picture to the doctor, like, I don't know, is this right? And they always are like, yep, you are in it for the long haul.
After you do exercises, you have bruises?
Yes, Susie. It is today, it is so bruised. I like really did a good job doing my exercises, and it's just like nasty.
That sounds terrible.
And they're like, well, yeah, just put and I had a funny moment where I don't know the word names for things. They should like spell it all out for me, literally, because they were saying, okay, we need to co-ban your finger. But they also told me I need to be buddy taping my finger.
Yeah, I remember you saying
those are 2 different things. I thought those were the same thing. Co-band, like
they sound the same.
They sound the same. Co-ban, COBAN, is a name of a type of bandage that looks like it's the brown stretchy stuff that sticks to itself. Buddy taping is when you tape one finger next to each other. Those things sound too close to be 2 different things that you need me to do.
Yeah.
I need you to say this is that and that is that, because I kept on saying, yeah, I'm co-banding it. And then they looked at me like I was a dummy. And then I realized why she looked at me like I was a dummy when she sent me the typed up message that said, are you wrapping it with co-ban? And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, I've been saying that word wrong. It is just like nonstop embarrassing moments.
Listen, you're not a doctor.
I know, but like,
you're too hard on yourself.
I just want people to know that podcasters, they're just like you.
Yeah. Maybe worse.
Maybe worse, actually. Oh, God. I just do think where I'm like, I just do this. I just do dumb shit. Say stupid. Like, it's fine. It's fine. But you know, when you're just like, oh God, why do you, Sarah?
It's just a hazard of being somebody who shoots from the hip. And I feel like it's totally worth it, because all of the funny stuff is so funny that it's worth being stupid every once in a while.
I shoot from the hip so much.
That's sort of your signature move.
It is 100% my signature move. That is so funny, Susie.
Regardless of your signature move, you will probably benefit from Lumi deodorant, because they will keep you smelling fresh while you do all your moves.
I was just preaching this the other day. I went to a workout class in the park, and this woman was talking about how she loves this one skincare line and uses all their stuff, but hates their natural deodorants because they don't work. And I was like, excuse me. Have you heard of Lumi? Developed by a gynecologist. You can use it on all your parts. It has amazing scents or unscented. You can use the acidified wipes if you don't want to use the actual deodorant. And are you familiar with their body wash?
Wow.
Yeah. That's what that was.
She is an evangelizer.
I was like that. And I was like this close to just holding up my pit and being like, take a sniff.
Yeah.
It's been 24 hours. I haven't even showered. I chose not to do that. But
okay, yeah. I think you discerned correctly. But
thank you.
The point remains that you could have done that, and it would have still been effective, because Lumi is that good. And Sarah just said, like, all my talking points. So I'll just tell you what the deal is. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, like mini body wash and deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. And if you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off their starter pack. Use code BrainCandy15 for 15% off your first purchase at LumiDeodorant.com. That's code BrainCandy15 at LumiDeodorant.com.
Yep, I just swapped out my summer scent to my winter pine.
I knew you would.
Yep.
That's so funny. I was just putting my coconut on, and I'm like, I bet Sarah's like trying to wish the ski season.
Oh, it's here. It's here, baby.
It's here.
Yeah.
All right.
The old pits.
All right, let's get started. Rasta.
Yes.
Let's talk. Well, do you want to talk about Mr. McMahon, or would you rather me wait for your
No,
episode?
let's talk about Mr. McMahon. It's not even on my, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's not even on my list of things to talk about for the next episode. Let's talk Susie.
Okay. Well, there's a documentary, if you haven't seen it, on Netflix called Mr. McMahon, about the creator and owner of the WWF and then WWE, Vince McMahon. And really, it's I think 5 or 6 part history of the WWE.
Thank you. I think it was like they're doing it.
Why are they
they're
calling
like
it
underselling it, but
Yeah.
right. Like
Because it's definitely not just about him.
And my interest grew tenfold when I learned that it was more about the history of
Wrestling.
It literally checked every single box for me.
Yeah, what
for
did
a
you like
documentary.
or find interesting about it?
Like literally everything. Okay, where do I start? One, I love it in the same way that I want like a Nintendo documentary. I love a documentary that pulls back the curtain on something that you are very familiar with.
Yeah.
But has an underbelly or has some like history or dark side of it. Like I love that as somebody who was on a reality show where people are like, wow, what a beautiful house. And I know they stopped painting halfway up the wall and all the screws are halfway screwed in. Like, I'm not fucking kidding. That was what the real world house was like. And everybody's like, that's a beautiful house. I'm like, it's not even finished.
It's a facade.
So I love that story because it feels like, Wizard of Oz, like man behind the curtain kind of thing. I like the evolution of the WWE. I think is very surprising. I think people would not throw wrestling into the category of, if you were to say which show is more progressive and changes with the times faster, The Challenge or WWE, you might guess The Challenge, but you would be wrong because they have more protections for the people working there. They made changes about how they treat women. Like when there was a problem, they evolved in a way that I think is something that a lot of other companies should take note.
Okay, because they were kind of insisting that Vince McMahon was at the mercy of the audience. So even if like he didn't want something personally or if it didn't benefit him or his family, he would still do it because his complete devotion was towards this entity of professional wrestling, WWE. And so like he would do whatever it took to keep the audience happy.
Yes.
Yeah. That was like his business plan.
And as a result, it changed for the better and for good. And now the wrestling world today is so different than what it was in the past. And now they have like a trans wrestler who's out and proud and people are cheering for her. And like, that is really cool, and women just are seen. I just like how they changed and evolved, and that is not. And I love something that surprises you, like a group that, in the same way, Susie being a huge 30 for 30 sports fan is like, whoa, we love that, like twist, or that Sarah covered with tattoos is a camp counselor. It's like, what? Like the pack. Like, don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing. And I feel like that's what a lot of that story was. And also, Vince McMahon is kind of fucked up is definitely like a dark, twisted individual. And that is, they haven't even scratched the surface of the shit that he's fucked up.
So, like, it seems that part of the reason that he was so devoted to this thing, wrestling, and why it was so successful is also, like, at the foundation of it is something that's really disturbing.
So disturbing. And that's why I also love this documentary, because I'm holding two of those very different feelings in my heart, where I'm like, wow, I love all of this stuff that I'm seeing, but I hate all of this stuff and this is so dark, and kind of how I feel about the challenge. And, it really was, it's like how we felt when we watched American Gladiators. It's very similar in that way, where he has some demons and he has some attachment issues that are severe. And it's very interesting to see an entire family. It's so fucking gross. I know I said all that wonderful stuff about WWE, but like, this is the and part. It's so gross that, and I'm going to say this and like, hear me out, that this is the American dream. That is disgusting to me, because this feels like that story where, look at, they have the husband and wife who have been together for forever, but they don't really fucking love each other, do they? I don't know. They are in a business deal, and they are just like,
I think they are devoted to each other.
They're devoted to each other, yes, and to the family, but he wouldn't be doing that. He's off doing a whole bunch of really fucking disturbing shit that now he's like,
well, so the way that
jail for.
It worked was that he agreed to participate in this documentary before all of these accusations came out about sexual assault, workplace harassment, and really foul accusations.
Horrible.
I mean, in the most recent lawsuit, there was defecation on a woman that worked for him. So we're talking pretty much.
He's so fucked.
The most disgusting accusations that really you can have that don't involve kids. And so
he what the hell is the word that just dehumanizes? Oh my God. I was going to say and end that very differently.
And it's not just one person. Like this is a pattern of things that have come forward over decades where he has mistreated women and whatever. Okay. So then when all the most recent accusations came out and it was the end of the situation, he resigned from the WWE and no longer was CEO, but he also quit filming on this documentary. But he had already done a bunch of interviews, and so had everyone else, including his family members. And so it's now come out that he tried to bury it. He tried to buy the documentary to prevent it from coming out and all this stuff, which I wouldn't blame him, because this is damning.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I feel like it almost, I mean, it's not, yes, it's damning because it shows that he is guilty, and you could see how that evolved to be that, but it made him.
You think it mythologized him?
A little bit.
Maybe though, but he already was.
Right.
He had already created this mythology through all the role playing.
And I'm just new to it because I hadn't heard the story before. But if I had been in the world of wrestling, I would know.
Yes.
Yep. Totally. You're right.
Because I was talking to our friend Scott about it, who is a WWE wrestling aficionado and super fan. And I said to him, you probably knew all this stuff already. Like, this isn't for the true fan. They already know all these storylines. They know the accusations. They know the business. They know all the cast or participants, wrestlers, whatever you want to call them. This was news to me, most of it.
Same. All of it was news to me.
I just knew the general gist.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, this family is absolutely bonky.
Dude. Well, that's what I'm saying about, like, the twisted American dream that this whole family is in it, because it feels like Trump. It feels like where it's this, and in a weird way, I can see the side of my family that I no longer speak to or have any connection with at all, and the ways that money and power and privilege, all of that just play into them.
They don't think they're doing anything wrong.
Right. And that they're willing to, okay. Oh, there's so much that I thought about. So what is that word that they kept saying that they...
K-fob.
K-fob. Okay. I was thinking about this.
Is that the right word?
Yes.
Okay.
Which term...
means like role-playing.
It's like this... where all of the actors, all the participants are taking part in this agreed upon like narrative that is going to look very real and very like they're going to lean into their roles. They're going to like
blur the line between like reality and fiction.
Yes. Yeah. And so much so that the audience believes that this is real. And it's so well done that you can, as the audience, forget that it might be made up. And a real good live performance, it's like theater, like opera, something like that, where you're like in it. And I was thinking about the shift that we saw on the challenge. And are there people who are doing this?
Absolutely.
And I was just the dummy who wasn't wasn't aware that we were doing this. I was like being...
I don't think you were a dummy.
Well, I just thought it was real. Yeah, maybe a pawn.
Yeah.
But I think that this is going on reality television. I think we see this all the time. I think that we see this I think that now in the age of like Instagram celebrities and social media celebrities.
Yeah, it's a wink. Everyone's in on it.
Everyone's in on it. People are caricatures. These are not there's a certain type of person who says, I am willing to sacrifice, like I know what my morals are and values are, and those may be different than the character I play that I present to the world, but I'm just going to forego mine, or like, keep mine but keep them to myself, and pretend and be this persona and lean into this because it gets me on future shows, or it gets me on traders, or you name it, or in magazines, and I get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
There were a lot of similarities with the challenge and our experiences to this wrestling scenario.
Yeah. And then I think about the one time where I was in on it, where I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to like turn it up and like, I hated myself for that.
Mm-hmm.
And other people didn't like that I was like that.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, no, what are you doing? And it just felt like, okay, this is a type that they're okay with that.
I'll tell you something I'm okay with, and that is finally being able to see properly thanks to Pair Eyewear.
Oh, Susie, you keep reminding me. I have got to get on this. It's bad now.
Sarah.
I know. I got to do it. I got to add it to my list right this second.
I don't know why she's putting it off, because let me tell you, if you're getting glasses and you're experiencing what the rest of us are with aging and just vision issues, then this is so easy. You go on to Pair Eyewear. You can do a digital try-on with all their styles and everything. You see which one looks best on you. You upload your prescription, lickety-split, And in no time, they come to your door, and they have the magnetic toppers that you can buy so that if you buy like black frames, then you can get sunglasses that then are prescription that pop right on, or different colors so you can change it with your outfits.
This feels like I'm somebody who has very little space in my teeny tiny house, so I am very selective about what goes in here. And I remember a time in my life where I had like a whole drawer that was for like sunglasses and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, right.
So indulgent.
I do not have that now. So the fact that I can have all the different sunglass looks, everything when I wear my earthy tones, when I wear my goth outfits, black or tortoiseshell, and sunglasses, just all in one place.
And they have so many themes and whimsical colors and patterns and stuff for the top frames. So if you wanted to have a little fall whimsy in your collection, you can do that. And it's super affordable and easy. We love them. Fall into a new routine with infinite possibilities from Pair Eyewear. Go to paireyewear.com and use code BCP for 15% off your first pair. Support the show by mentioning that the Brain Candy Podcast sent you in your post-checkout survey. That's Pair, P-A-I-R, eyewear.com, code BCP. And if you just want readers, you can do that too. You don't have to upload a prescription. You can just pick like the strength or whatever of the...
God,
readers.
That's where
we're at that age.
I'm there.
We don't like it, but that's wake up.
I'm there.
Okay, so
especially at nighttime. Do you notice that?
I notice it actually when I wake up, which is the worst, and I'm always like,
it takes some time to get them going. Oh my God, I've noticed. Yeah, it's an age thing.
It's
Jesus
terrible.
Christ Almighty. Okay, that's fine. We got Pair
It's
Eyewear.
okay.
It's great.
It's okay.
We're
It's
gonna be cute.
happening. It's happening.
Happening.
Even if you don't watch wrestling or think you would be into it, you probably would, because it is so
you
compelling.
100% will be into this. You will love it. This checks, I'm telling you, every single box.
Oof.
It's
And
so
it's
disturbing
troubling.
and weird and the ways that it's power, man. Power makes you do fucked up things.
Yeah.
And everybody becomes disposable. Like, even the way he used his own children was disgusting to me.
It's disgusting. Ew. Remember when he wanted to do a storyline where he impregnated his daughter?
I can't talk about it. Say it. Say it.
He proposed doing a storyline in which he impregnated Stephanie McMahon, who is his daughter. And she was like, we're not doing that. But like, why would you even propose that?
You
like, there are taboos, mister.
And I think that
Yeah.
You know who else it reminded me of? What made me think of is Marilyn Manson.
Mm-hmm. Where you say like, oh, this is just a performance. It's not really me long enough.
Yep.
Is it?
Now it's like, if you've been performing as that character for so long, even if... and maybe that character... I mean, when you think about where characters come from, where would they develop these like alter egos in a way? Yeah, these personas. A lot of them, you know what I'm going to say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody is cheating, they will talk about their, whatever you call that person, mistress or other person, because human beings are compelled to talk about what they're thinking about, even when they don't want to. Inevitably, they will mention this person.
Yes, we do this with children. And this is how you do therapy on children. You give them all the toys. And I love doing therapy with kids because they will tell you everything that's going on through their play. You want to know what kind of day your kid had at school? Play with them and see what themes come up, because that is exactly what happened. So if you put out all the toys, and I mean, we'll have closets of everything you can imagine. And there's a great tool that you use in therapy called Sandbox, where it's like a big sandbox in the room, and the kids have all the choice of all these like figurines and everything. And you'll just set up you say, tell me what it feels like at home at nighttime. And then they will create a world where you'll have a big monster in the corner, and then they'll put themselves far, far away, and they'll put a lion in between, and and you're just like, oh my God, I know exactly what is happening. Mm-hmm. They don't come up with that from, I read this book one time.
Right.
No.
It's top of mind.
It is what they are acting out from their life. So when these guys
created that, yeah.
Yep. That there is a part of them, and you'll see this in any interview with like the characters, like the guys from Kiss or whatever. They'll be like, there's like a part of us that was like this wild and crazy stage people, but that's not who we. Well,
yeah,
there was a part.
Pay close attention to that stuff. Is what I'm saying.
Yes, there is a part. Who is the stage person that, and if the stage presence. I mean, I'm not knocking the guys from Kiss because they're actually lovely. And my mom did a couple Kiss music videos and said they were very polite. And they
were gentle.
She, however, says, fuck Steven Tyler. He's an asshole. She hates him.
Yeah.
She says he's a real dickhead.
Right. I think these people reveal themselves.
Yeah, because she did Love in an Elevator, that music video.
Boy, Sally has had quite a ride.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah,
I think you all should watch it if you are interested. It was long, but it was really good.
Yeah.
I also watched, of course, I said on my Instagram, the Will and Harper documentary.
Me too. Yeah.
Wonderful. Just wonderful. I loved it. Will Ferrell and his best friend, Harper Steele, who is transitioned from male to female and worked on Saturday Night Live as a writer. They did a road trip across country to, kind of like unpack this new scenario and how it maybe affected their relationship. I just thought it was beautifully shot. I thought it was wonderful storytelling. And as a person who has a lot of questions, I was dissatisfied in a way with I have so many more questions.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that is not that it is to introduce a trans life and story to a cisgender population that maybe is not seeing that. But it does not provide a rich look at the trans experience from any other perspectives or intersectionality or, you know.
If that's what you're looking for, it isn't that.
It's not going to be that.
Dive.
No.
It's more, I would say it's more an exploration of friendship and love, and also the ways that this country can be far more civil and loving than we realize if we're exposed to different kinds of people. And that in real life, off the phone, in real life, I think people generally aren't looking for trouble and are just maybe a little scared or fearful or trepidatious.
Yes.
But once they can be made comfortable and disarmed, they're like, yeah, sure. You mind your business. You're cool with me.
That is, it's the coming together, and that's why I loved what was his name who passed away? The food guy, Anthony Bourdain, when he would travel to places all and go to street carts in the middle of nowhere and say, we have so much more in common and we can just connect on food. And then when you get to know somebody through sharing a meal and just being a human within the shared human experience, that we're all just we're all people. We all.
Well, I always joke, because when I hear the weird shit people do, I'm always like, we are not similar. We are very different. And we are.
Right.
But that it's okay.
Absolutely, it's okay.
And the differences aren't a problem.
It's not a problem. I always like to think of us as tract housing, that we are the same 5 models of house flipped around in different configurations, but it's really like the same 5 basic models.
Well,
but
yeah,
then
'cause the foundation.
Yeah, the foundation. What do we all love? It's the same thing that holds them all up. It's the same thing that supports all the houses. Same thing, but foundationally, all the same, structurally.
Yeah.
Then we all put in our different shit and put up different curtains and paint it different colors and make it look different and fill it with all of our, and it's okay that your house is decorated the way you want it to be decorated. And I don't like, it's not my style, but I'm not like, oh my God, I can't, you and you're not allowed to have that. No fucking way. Then what it said we are with people. Everybody's just got a different interior decor.
Yeah. But there's a lot of people who can make a lot of money off of convincing you that these other people are a threat or a problem or something you should hate. And those are the people that I am suspicious of.
Absolutely.
Who is profiting off of the division? Who is profiting off of the strife? Who is profiting off of the war?
Yes.
That is far more interesting to me than the people that fall for it.
Absolutely. Oh, yes.
Right?
Always yeah.
Because most people just want to be nice and mind their own beeswax.
Yes.
I really
when
think
you
that.
really get people together, all of that.
Yeah. They're like, let's have a beer and play some pool.
Right.
And do karaoke.
I do this. That's why people don't talk a lot of shit on my Instagram. And thank God. Because whenever they do, I never call people out publicly, but I will go into those DMs and I will let them know how that made me feel. And in a way that just expresses, yes. I did it I don't have to do this very often, but somebody talked shit on my house and they said, did you see that comment about how, look at her kitchen, she must be poor? And I was like, ow, this is my
what
first
if you were?
home. Right. And I'm like, actually, I mean, I'm not like rolling in dough over here. Like, yeah,
that is really shameful.
It was
I'm really glad I didn't see that because I would not have slid into their DMs to talk some sense into them. I would have taken them to task.
Yeah.
What did you say?
I said, let's go, let's look. Let's play this game. Hang on, I'm going to pull it up because it's worth it. It's worth it.
That kind of a comment I actually wouldn't reason with because to me that seems 100% a troll because there is no good intention behind that. There's no way that could be misinterpreted. This is just a mean thing to say.
Yeah.
And if you were poor, that is certainly no reason to be mean about it. I'm so mad.
I want to find
I'm going to slide into their DMs and tell them, don't fall for Sarah's niceness. You're a piece of shit.
I want to find
and I hate your guts.
Okay. So they said something along the lines of, which is I had now since deleted because I wasn't going to leave that up there. But they said something along the lines of ew, look at her house. She must be poor or something like that. I was like, and then somebody else under it was like, rude. That is so uncalled for. And so then I slid into the DMs and I was like, why do you have to make rude comments about my house? Especially since I haven't ever seen you say anything nice before. What's the point? And then they didn't reply. And so this is my new favorite thing to say. Welp, get well soon. Isn't that great? I said that. That was 2 days later. They hadn't responded. And so I was like, well, get well soon. And then instant reply. No, you're right. That was uncalled for of me. Sorry. I was having a rough day and there's no excuse to act like that. They will always apologize every single time I go into the DMs and you let them see and you make them look at you and you're like, that made me feel bad. And they're like, you're right. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I'm like, that is the only way.
All right. I need to talk about that more, but first I got to talk about how much I love Honey Love.
Oh, yeah.
And their leggings and their bras and all their shapewear. It's awesome. Super high quality.
Yes.
Super flattering. I wear it to the gym every day. when I'm embarrassing myself in front of people, but they're probably so distracted by how cute my little pants look that they're like, oh, you sure you can't do shit?
Yeah.
But your pants look nice.
I am all about buying from sustainable places that care about the ingredients and materials that go into what they're making.
I'm glad I feel like you've evolved on that.
Oh,
I'm so glad about that.
I have changed.
It
feels really good. It feels like I'm walking the walk instead of just talking the talk, which is hard to do. And you do have to make decisions of like, okay, you know what? I'm not going to have 5 colors of this, but that's better because instead I have 2 that will last me forever.
That's what my mom says. You pay now or you pay later.
You do. Because I, for real, I was thinking that the other day. I put on my Honey Love pants and I was like, I think I talked about this last time. There's no pilling.
Yeah.
I've already had to throw away
for ages.
4 pairs of the cheapy ones. And I was like, why did I do that? I'm not doing that again. Same with sports bras. Don't even get me started. Now I'm yelling. Don't get me started on the super cheapy sports bras and those pads inside that then fall and don't hold their shape. And nope. No. Just give me that beautiful, what do they call it? The crossover bra? It's like,
the crossover bra. Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yeah, their stuff is so nice, and you will agree when you get it. You'll be like, "Oh, I see what they're talking about."
Yeah, you will.
Honey Love is not just supporting women; it's empowering women. Treat yourself to the best bras in the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/braincandy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off. Honeylove.com/braincandy to find your perfect fit. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Elevate your comfort, elevate your style with bras that empower your lifestyle of flexibility. Sarah,
Susie,
this person, like, I'm really glad that they apologized to you. You deserved that. I just don't buy it. Like I was having a bad day thing.
Yeah, I don't either. It felt somewhat personal because they made a comment about, especially for Old Town Arvada. And I was like, I don't live there, but I live close to there. So why did they, like, you wouldn't, it almost feels like
What's that mean?
Well, that's the name of the city I used to live in. I used to live in Arvada. It's like a city right outside of Denver. And so
where the Unabomber used to be housed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's at the federal penitentiary.
Oh, yeah, there is one near there. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the mention of the neighborhood that I used to, but I don't live there now. But that was the area that I was looking at when I must have talked about it.
Was that a fancy area or a
No, it's regular. Just regular. No, not just it's the same. It's like I'm in now.
So they
it's
were
like
saying
regular.
Your kitchen looks poor even for whatever their perception.
Yeah. But I was like,
that's
I don't
very
even live
weird
there.
and specific.
I know. That's what I thought.
I don't love it. And I cannot imagine ever saying that. Does this person follow you?
I don't think
have my settings so you have to follow me in order to comment. But how could someone
they follow me.
You and then want to insult you?
Yeah.
I mean, this is basic golden rule stuff here. I'm just like, I want to have a deeper conversation with like that person.
It's probably
what
fake.
were you doing?
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know.
You handled it beautifully, but they suck, and I don't give a shit.
But every time somebody's like a meanie like that, if I just go in and I'm like, excuse me, I'd like you to just talk to me a little bit about that because that made me feel not so good, then they apologize. And I feel like...
And your house is adorable, and I think your kitchen looks nice. Everything looks nice, always.
Just because I have white appliances. And
for Pete's sake.
People are all like...
I prefer white.
And I don't even care. Who cares? I
so
just
dumb.
moved in, too. Like, when you first moved into your house, like... It's going to take me a couple years to get everything set up, yo. Like, I just got the air conditioning working. Hello.
You're like, have you heard about my air conditioner?
Right. I'm like, please, the refrigerator is the last on my list, buddy. That is.
All right. I'm not going to spend any more time with this idiot. Okay.
But next time somebody's mean to me, I'm just going to call you right away and be like, Susie, look at what this person's saying. And then you'll just make, that is, okay, now I know.
Send it to me on DM and be like, handle it.
This is
Bodyguard
great. This
activated.
Is great. Wow, you and I are so different, but so good for each other.
Complimentary, yeah.
Like it really is.
Together we make an amazing person.
So good.
Just one.
Yeah.
Person.
1 + 1 is 1.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about how there was a politician. He was running for governor in, I forget where, but he was running for governor in like North Carolina or something. Mark Robinson, and he got embroiled in a scandal because he had been commenting on a porn site's like message board.
What? Why do they like? What, they're just, it's like they want to be caught,
right? Well, it was under like a username that was ridiculous.
Yeah, but
I forget what it was, but why?
Why have you listen? Not recently, because like I don't even care post menopause, but back in the day when I had sex hormones flowing through me, your girl watched porn.
Yeah.
Guess how many times I've even thought about commenting? 0.
Yeah, right.
Because that feels like I'm doing my private thing, and I like in engaging in this community is almost another form of. It's like feels like a taboo. It feels like a kink in and of itself.
Yeah, like you're breaching.
It's like voyeurism. It feels like something like that is a fetish or something or a kink.
Yeah.
You know? So what are you doing?
Because this story broke and this governor person is, in hot water, a journalist was like, why would anyone do that?
Right.
Also, there are porn message boards. Like, what does that even mean? And so they wanted to figure it out. So this was published on The Cut, which is like,
Oh, yes, I know it. One of my stories
Times
is coming from there. Yes, love it.
And so this person wanted to find out, like, what are these message boards all about and who in the hell is commenting on them? And it is such a funny, fascinating read. So I recommend the whole article.
Oh, yes.
But basically,
do you have any highlights?
Yeah, I have some
God.
highlights.
I love this.
Okay, so like on one hand, you have like the OnlyFans, which is a separate entity.
Yes.
Where you subscribe and you pay money to see a particular person's not
and
safe
it's about
for work
engagement because they're the one posting. And you're like, yes.
It's more like an Instagram, but just porn. So then you're commenting because you think the creator, the person in the porn may respond and that's exciting or whatever. That's one thing. I
totally
get why that happens.
Yes.
But we're not talking about that.
This is everybody else turning into fucking Siskel and Ebert giving their reviews.
Totally.
And it's like...
Okay, yes. So, like, on OnlyFans, they interviewed this one guy who identifies as a baiter.
Oh.
Which...
Like is he masterful at it?
Yeah, he is.
How good is he? Like...
He's
like a master?
He,
you were going to let me not tell that joke. You saw it coming a million miles away. She was like, oh, here it comes. Oh, God. She started laughing before he even got the punchline out.
Funny.
Yes.
And so his particular sexual preference is to fly solo or mutual masturbation. He's really not interested in sex.
That's what he does on there.
That's his... no, he's a commenter. But that's his like sexual identity. So he really doesn't want to hook up with anyone in real life. He's more interested in just masturbating or mutual masturbating with a partner.
Okay. See, this is what I'm telling you. It's a whole kink of it.
Yeah.
I just didn't even know about
much.
this. Okay. Got it.
and he's gay, and he says that he is an OnlyFans commenter, and he says, like, if a guy has this is a quote, like, if a guy has a really nice dick, I would specifically compliment that. I think veining on a dick is cool.
All right.
This has nothing to do with the story.
It totally
I just had to...
is Siskel and Ebert. It's like, or you know what this is? It's like, I feel like this is like the same guys who are in those tablescaping competitions. Like, who are like really
this
judgy.
Is their thing.
And they just like to judge, but they're going to get off on it. I understand. This is the therapist to me. I understand this. I can see what the draw is, that if you are, there's something about, like, maybe if there's a fear around putting yourself out there and connecting in real life, that this seems like a way to
the commenting.
Yes. To connect
All
in
right.
the comments,
what about, like, in
on a shared thing that you are being intimate about.
Well, that's really nice of you to say.
I can see it.
I can see it. I just don't like it. Okay. So then this person also was explaining the difference between straight commenters and gay commenters. He said that straight commenters are like horny husbands that just like jerk off and will be like, say some dumb non sequitur or like one announcement. And then the gay commenters are more like wanting to connect and like, hey, we should meet up. And like,
see there, it's the connection. I get it.
Yeah.
And the only reason that the straight ones aren't doing that is because they're not allowed to, and they like can't.
Yeah.
And
that's not why they're there.
It's not a community. Right.
And then they interviewed this guy who identifies as the connoisseur, and he is a Pornhub commenter. So this is a different scenario. This is like a proper porn site, not like OnlyFans. And
these are the ones I do not understand.
Right. He lost his job during the pandemic, and then he always felt like
what was his job? I would
didn't say.
Love to know. That is so important. Let's play What Was His Job?
Yes, Sarah, go ahead.
His job was, I mean, I want to say like quality control. Like it could be like
security.
Yeah, it's something where he's saying yes or no, approving or disapproving. And he is a dragon slayer in a world of no dragons now. And he has taken that to the porn sites, and it is simultaneously giving him that boost of serotonin and dopamine, and also validating his need to,
feel useful.
Yep. There you go.
So you're probably right, because he says, and I quote, "I had a passion for writing, but what form it would take, I wasn't sure. I could never find something that fully engaged me. Then I found this." And it said that he takes his work very seriously, and he won't, under any circumstances, accept any kind of payment from a creator to leave a positive review on their porno.
Good. Well, I'm so glad he has morals and standards and holds himself to a higher. Yes,
a baiter,
an ethical baiter.
He's an ethical baiter.
It's my favorite kind.
He says, "You cannot buy me. You can't pay me off. My reviews are not for sale."
He can't be bought, right? Wow.
Okay.
What is his? Did they share his pen name, or at least like?
Yeah, that he's the connoisseur.
Oh, that's what they. Oh,
on Pornhub, that's his name.
I'm annoyed with that title.
Too self-aggrandizing.
Yes. God.
Okay, but I guess after I finish the article, which everyone should read, yes, it's hilarious. I wanted to ask you, like, why? I know you've said this. Yeah. You've been talking about this the whole time, but I'm
just thinking more about the connoisseur and how, like, I can see him. He maybe did like the food reviews, like he was did like restaurant reviews, and then post COVID, it like shut down. We weren't doing that as much anymore. Something happened, and they are like everything went digital, and he's like used to be able to he got the boot.
Yeah.
or place in.
This was how he found meaning.
Yeah. Okay. So
the governor guy, he was on a message board called, swear to God, Nude Africa.
Oh, Jesus fucking
He's
Christ.
a black guy, and this was about blacks. Yeah. you're
that was a...
This is like kombucha meme over there.
Yeah. It's like, I don't actually know if that...
It was black sexual topics. That's what this message board was. And that's what but he said on the message board that he's a black Nazi.
Oh my God, it's this guy. Mm-hmm. Jesus. Oh yeah. No. This is not good.
Yeah. It's not good at all.
No.
But
No.
I just can't imagine.
This is rooted in this feels like power and control too, and I don't know how, but I know it is.
I just can't figure out, because I understand what you're saying, that these people want to be useful. They feel like this is a way that they can like have influence or something.
This is different than those guys, the OnlyFans commentator, the gay guys who are doing this. Is totally different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which ones are we talking about?
I'm talking when I said like I can understand what you're saying about those other people that are like, I'm going to leave reviews and this will help other users. That I get, but I'm also like, how can they possibly think that is the best use of their usefulness?
I could just see it. Like I could see. You never know what people are going to become passionate about or fixate on for a little while. And a lot of people are neurodivergent out there, and they fixate on something. And I see, as somebody who is that myself, I will jump from pond to pond, like of fixations, and I can see. So here's this what came to mind. Mm-hmm. When I needed car advice, and I went to the Toyota forums and I started asking, and I went even on my Instagram story and was like, okay, listen, off-road guys, Toyota guys, people,
yeah, I saw that
listen
post.
Up. Mm-hmm. I had wives who were brainiacs who knew their husbands are Toyota guys, who had their husbands then message me.
Yeah, but how are you equating these things? You're a real person that needs help buying a car.
Well, I know, but
you think it's the same impulse.
I can see we have a shared fascination and fixation of this car, and we'll spend hours talking to a stranger that I do not know and have nothing in common with, other than they happen to know what a locking rear differential is, and that is it, and it's just like, I see you see me, we're both like on this deep dive into this together, and
someone should tell them this isn't it.
And I can see them just getting, it's almost like having validation in that moment through.
Well, it's pathetic, because they could volunteer at a nursing home or fucking something normal that would actually help people.
Well, they might do that too, maybe.
They don't. They are jerking off and thinking like they're goddamn, this fucking weirdo connoisseur. See, like as soon as you start to show compassion, then I ramp up my rage. But he says he spends 30 to 40 minutes on each like post about the porno video. The porn doesn't even last that long.
No. Now we're talking about something. Now it's crossed into something different. that if this becomes something that's then getting in the, like, what's the addiction? That it's still falling into like an addiction category. If it's like taking, there's always balance for everything, So like,
I just don't know. This is what I mean about how we're not all the same. We're not. Because yes, the foundation is we all want to matter. And that's what this is. This is somebody who wants to matter. They think their reviews actually help humanity.
And maybe there's this. No. I don't think so, that they think it helps humanity. I think that they think it helps
somebody.
The viewer. Yeah, that they feel they feel useful in
That's
that
what people
way.
want to feel. They matter.
Yes.
But how misguided.
Yeah, because to them, this thing is important. And I just understand. I mean, this is a weird one, but I just understand fandom in a way that I think with like the people that I've met through fans of the challenge or people who have been fans like of ours, like I can understand that.
That's my whole life.
And I can see how, I can see how that if you catch somebody. Sometimes when we talk about these stories, or when we hear about these people, it's in a moment of their like whole life story where I think these symptoms, these behaviors have peaked because of the situation or circumstance, or like the fan fiction I'm writing where this guy lost his job. This guy may have lost his relationship over it. He is feeling really disconnected. Maybe all of his friends he knew through work or whatever he did, and now he feels really isolated and lonely. And so this is just that and then I bet if you caught him 5 years from now, he might be like, wow, that weird period of my life when I was like just going deep into the message boards. I don't know. Just
for real, to bring it full circle, the wounds and whatever you're dealing with in the way that Vince McMahon, who coped by building this like empire and putting his whole heart into this other thing that totally doesn't matter.
I know what you're. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, what matters less than professional wrestling? Literally nothing.
Right.
Porn.
Right.
That's it. But he found his identity and meaning and worth in this thing, and dominating and bullying other people as it was.
Right.
And then in this case, it's like this guy thinks his expertise can be best served in this way, and it is so misguided and so stupid, but at the foundation is like the human condition.
And really just an example of how men will do anything but go to therapy.
For real.
That is what this feels. It's like, just go to therapy first.
I wish there was a better help ad in this episode because give them a jingle. My God.
Or just call me.
All right.
But by the way, I do have, if you're listening and you're like, hey, I've been thinking about therapy, or I've been thinking about me and my partner, like talking to somebody, I have 3 spots available.
Oh my gosh, these are hard to come by, people.
They are. And
if you're thinking about it,
3 available
it's go time.
Spots. And so
couples?
Couples, kids, individuals. I'd say teens, because I don't like to do online therapy with anybody younger than like 13, because I think they have to be able to I want to do more of the play stuff if it's kids. I think that's what they benefit from. But parenting stuff, you name it, like just a little check-in, like one-off goal setting session, maybe like, start of the new year, anything. But I am
that's a good reminder. We'll put it on our Instagram too, because I mean, you people.
Sarah at solutionsoc.com, solutions with an S. You can email me and we can get something set up.
It's like
easy breezy.
It's like Helen Keller at the well. She's a miracle worker.
Oh, God.
I mean it. It's true.
Okay. It is the most rewarding job, because I love seeing people grow, and I do feel like
are you trying to tell me
badass therapist?
It's more rewarding than commenting on porn?
I mean,
for $0.
I was going to say I laugh more here, but I don't know. I laugh a lot with my clients.
I bet you do.
Have a good time.
See, you guys could have a grand old time with Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. McMahon on Netflix. It's long, fascinating.
Totally worth it.
Totally worth it. Harper and Will, beautifully shot, beautifully done. Documentary.
The car they drove in was my first car.
I know, the Wagoneer. I thought of you every time I looked at that thing.
And then when they got in, they were like, he was like, "Ooh, it's carpeted. The whole thing's fancy." Yeah. I laughed because I'm like, that thing is all carpeted. It's so great. Oh,
how's this thing handled? He's like, shittily.
Yeah, it's so. My friends used to say that it hits 40 miles an hour downhill with all the windows open, and it would get 8 miles to the gallon.
Whoa, it's not efficient, but it
license plate,
cute.
big water.
Oh my God, Sarah is.
You can hear it coming a mile away.
And if you're gonna watch porn, we don't judge, but please, we do judge about if you're leaving comments. I am at least.
Don't.
You can do better. You can do more with your time. Thanks for listening. And as always, thank you for using our codes. It keeps the lights on, keeps us going. And we love you and we appreciate you. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Love you. Bye.